Hello, everyone. It's the Jarek Brian Show. My name is Jarek, and guys, let's roll out the red carpet. We have a huge special guest. We have the HellCats on the show today. And HellCats, how are you doing?
Hello. Thank you a lot, Jarek, for the invitation. I am Yanis. I'm the community lead of HellCats and Brix Labs. I'm really happy to finally be here. We're trying to, book this this call for a while. We were too busy. You were too busy as well. With all the grinding you have been doing with your channel, which we love. And I am glad that I am finally here.
I love that you're finally here. And it's Giannis, right? Am I saying that correctly?
Yeah. It's like Adetokounmpo if you watch the NBA.
Yeah. So, Giannis, before we get into all this, right? The Hellcats were one of the OGs of kind of Polygon, right? And before we break into all that, because you guys got a lot going on with the Hellcats, the Brix Labs, the HellHounds, all those things. But I do want to kind of get a little bit of your story on what led you here to the Hellcats.
Yeah, of course. So my journey in Web3 and crypto started during, let's say, the last bull run. It was September of 2021. My story is no different from most people. I had a friend. He had started some months ago to invest and find some strategies, and understand what is crypto, what is blockchain, and stuff like that. So at some point we were out, I think, grabbing a beer, and we were discussing about it. And he said, you know what? I think it's something. There are a lot of opportunities, to make some money, to understand a little bit of the technology. Why don't you, join it? So me and another friend were trained, let's say, from the first friend that I told you about. We entered the space. We actually, the very good thing is that we already had our friend that he was invested for some months. He was pretty much in a lot of different ecosystems, right? He was not married to his bugs. He was an all-around player, let's say. So he was really helpful for us to, actually understand what is it about, what is blockchain, what is the difference from a network to a network, or stuff like that. From central exchanges, decentralized exchanges. Pretty much everything, he was the one that helped us a lot. And after some months, I think it was during December of 2021. Funnily enough, I was not on HellCats team back then, but I found the ecosystem of Terra Luna. HellCats was a project already minted there by the time I found the blockchain, but we will talk about this later. So basically, I started interacting a little bit more with people and NFT projects on Terra. To this day, I think that the Terra experience was a very big school for us from all. With all meanings, I can say this. We learned a lot of valuable lessons back there. So basically, I won a HellCats NFT from a Twitter giveaway, which is pretty funny. And basically, I won the NFT because I missed the mint. I became part of the community. I was not, quite active back then. I just held my HellCat in my wallet, occasionally joining, and having some small talk. There was another project that I was involved as a community member, which basically kickstarted my, let's say, NFT involvement. This project sadly rugged after it's what happens every time. Right after the Terra collapse, but I had already, made a lot of valuable connections and people that I can proudly call friends. And it was that time after the Terra collapse that I actually started, getting involved more into projects like HellCats and Rebrand. And at some point, I was talking with one of the founders of HellCats, Dimitri. He's also a fellow Greek. Actually, he's a Greek Australian. And we were talking, and I told him, you know what? I'm going on vacation tomorrow. I will be back in like 20 days. I want to get involved more in the project. I can see a lot of potential here for both the project and me, and of course, the team. I will be gone for 20 days. Give it a thought, and let me know if you guys want me to get more involved. I would love that. Okay, so fast forward, I get back from my vacations. I was talking with Tim again, and he told me, you know what, we would love to have you, as the community manager. And pretty much this was how I got involved with HellCats.
Okay, cool. No, I like it, and you guys are the OGs, of Polygon. You guys are pretty much here when kind of like nothing was here, right? And kind of speak, or if you can kind of speak on the fact that in your kind of your experience, right, and what you've kind of seen, you guys were here, like I said, when nothing was kind of really going on, right, and to a thriving ecosystem, which I think is right now. Like, can you talk about like how crazy it was to actually experience from that being like kind of like no volume to kind of the NFT ecosystem that's around to today?
Yeah.
In Polygon.
So in order for me to reply this, I need to very briefly explain what happened and how we ended up on Polygon, right? So
sure.
HellCats was a project that minted in the peak of the previous bull run on Terra, a very thriving ecosystem. There was a lot of money, there was a lot of liquid. The project became very quick what we call as blue chip, with crazy volumes, crazy sales. There were sales from 10 to 30K, right? It's crazy if you think that one of the, of the NFTs that I hold right now, let's say, was, they were selling for $6, $5, $6, $7, or $10,000. It's crazy to think of it. So basically, the project, I think it had an all-time high floor price of 5.5K at some point. And
Damn.
Fast forward, yeah, it was crazy. Fast forward, the Terra collapse happened, and the project initially took the decision to migrate to Solana. It was a very good decision at the time, and I mean because after ETH, the second largest NFT ecosystem at the time was Solana, so it made sense. At this point, our friends from One Planet were already in talks with Polygon Labs, and they reached out to the team, they discussed, and they proposed, for us to also be part of the migration alongside some other projects like Arcadia and Dystop AI, which were, really good friends and collaborators of us. So this is how we ended up on Polygon, right? As you said, when we actually came here, there were very, very, very few projects. And very, very, very few PFP projects, right? There were some gaming projects, some other, NFT projects, but PFP projects, there was not a lot of projects. There was no, let's say, specific culture as a Polygon NFT scene, and even our holders, we had a lot of people that were a bit skeptical, like, guys, where exactly are we going? Is this an ecosystem that we can actually thrive? And to return to your question, I think that everything that happened I think the past 9 months on Polygon, I think it's the best answer for all the people that were skeptical, right? From youths, from people coming from Solana, Manifest Labs, people coming from Stargaze like Space Kellys. My friend EJ, he's doing great work.
Smart guy.
Yeah, very, very, very smart guy. And actually, HellCats was his first NFT purchase, if I recall correctly.
I need a Hellcat.
Yeah, you need one for sure. So anyway, yeah, it's crazy because at the start of the migration, we were like, oh, you know what? We basically need to start over. We need to bring new people in. We need to get the attention of people like whales and stuff like that. So if we compare what happened 1 year ago and what is happening now, and so many projects, the daily Twitter Spaces. The very, very, very productive meetings that we have, daily. It is very nice to see, that the ecosystem could build an identity, let's say, in less than a year in a bear market.
And that's great. I mean, you guys have stuck around, you guys hung in there, right? But as I kind of see you guys, you guys were here, you guys had you were one of the top projects on Polygon. You still are. I mean, floor price wise and everything like that, you guys are great. I love the artwork and everything like that. But can you kind of tell me the kind of story of the Hellcats? What's the inspiration behind kind of the art, and also too, what exactly are going to be some of the perks of actually holding a Hellcat?
Yeah, of course. So, Hellcats are, let's say, it's a group of degenerate, badass outcasts, right?
Mm-hmm.
I am not, the one that can talk about the art in a general way, because I was not, the one that had any idea about the art. I met the art and I was introduced to the art as a holder first. So, I learned to appreciate it as an NFT holder first and then as a team member, right? But I think what the guys wanted, to get is a good portion of, let's say, something that is cute, but at the same time is badass, right? So it can, let's say, have a wide audience. So basically, Hellcats, as I said, they are badasses. They are, the bad guys. They are, let's say, the group of people you usually want to avoid, when walking alone. They are not bad at heart, but, they are, let's say, punks. They are motorbikers and stuff like that. I think that one of the very important things about Hellcats is the lore and what we have built with the help of the community. At this point, I want to mention that Hellcats was one of the first collections that had a very, very, very powerful core of sub-communities. There were I think 6 or 7 sub-communities that they were based on specific traits, and all these sub-communities are included to the lore. They are included to the comics. We have already 2 comic issues out, and the sub-communities are included in this comic. So I really want to highlight, that the lore of Hellcats, which is something we think is, one of the very good selling points of a Hellcat. So this lore has been shaped with the help of the community and the community members. Of course, there are a lot of perks to holding a Hellcat. The first thing is, I always say that the first utility of an NFT is the art, right? So I really think that HellCats have one of the best art on Polygon. Of course, I am biased, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, I mean, it's good artwork.
Yeah. I think it's it has a very unique combination of traits that are very well drawn, but at the same time, also the combination with the fur colors and the clothes, and all the combination of colors is very, very, very nice. Of course, after the art as utility, Hellcats can be soft stake, and in return, what we actually were thinking with the staking is that a lot of let's say staking contracts can be drained or hacked, and this usually ends up with people losing their NFTs. So we have our own dev. We'll talk about it a little bit later, because he's the one also involved with Brix Labs. But we asked him, to create a soft staking mechanism so that people can actually stake their NFTs, but at the same time hold their NFTs in their wallets. So there is no danger of them, to actually get drained or anything like that. So when someone stakes their HellCats and also their HellHounds, they can receive some tokens that are called the Troublemaker tokens, TMT. TMT is an off-chain token. You can think of it, like the loyalty points or stuff like that. And they can spend these points in the HellCat shop. The HellCat shop contains a variety of items. We have merch. The merch was produced and paid fully, before the staking begin. We have hoodies, we have t-shirts, we have hats, and we are brainstorming, right now for the next season. These are completely free, in terms of, of money. People can buy them with the tokens they have by soft staking their NFTs. The only thing that they need to pay is the shipping cost, which sadly is a little bit too high in my opinion, but it's pretty difficult to get something lower, because we don't sell huge quantities of merch, so they are a pain in the ass. I was trying to be polite, but
no, just to say the truth,
yeah. Also, we have raffles, for NFTs, for whitelist spots. We also have raffles for real life items. For example, we raffled 2 pairs of custom made HellCats Vans shoes.
Wow.
It's it's a very nice. It's not a crazy thing to do, but it's very nice to actually have merch, that is connected with the artwork. And also we have other events like we pay for your Valentine's dinner, or other stuff like that. During our, the problem with also, the bear market and people getting demoralized has, we have seen some decrease in the demand, of TMT. So we are also trying, to find other ways to, make the demand for TMT higher. We are still for this also at the brainstorming phase. But I am positive that we can find some use cases.
Yeah, no, and the merch I haven't yet seen yet, but I'm probably going to get me a Hellhound or a Hellcat here pretty soon, so I can kind of check you guys out. Though, but you said the Hellcat, right? And you said the lore and everything. But Hellhounds, like, is that something? Are they kind of like together, or is that something completely different? What role does the Hellhounds play in the kind of Hellcat system ecosystem?
Yeah, that's a very nice question. So, as I told you earlier, when the Hellcats were minted, everything was great in the crypto space. Everyone had money. They were occasionally sweeping floors, driving the demand, driving the prices very up. So at some point, the floor price for a Hellcat were approximately to five to $5,500.
Jeez.
Yeah, it was a crazy time. So this was a very big problem for new people that wanted to actually join the community. So the team at that time, also because the supply of Hellcats is super low, it is 2,500. At that time, the team had the idea of minting a second collection, the HellHounds, that they were part also of the Hellcats lore, right? The HellHounds are, let's say, the nemesis of Hellcats. They are dogs. We know that cats and dogs are an eternal fight. And basically, the whole idea for Hellhounds were to be, a cheap entry to the ecosystem, so people could enjoy being part of the Hellcats community, but they did not have, to sell a kidney to get in the community. So 2,500 Hellhounds were minted from the Hellcats holders, and 2,500 more when minted from people that got whitelists and stuff like that. The very good thing with Hellhounds is, in my opinion, they were what we actually call a network effect. So we say that, this is a project from the Hellcats team, so it will be successful. And until the day of the Terra collapse, it was successful. If I recall correctly, Hellhounds did $1 million in volume in the first 12 hours after mint. I remember that there was this marketplace back then called Luart, and I was not in the team back then. I was trying to refresh and try to snipe a Hellhound more, and the website was completely crashed. You could not reload, you could not refresh, you could not, basically it was useless because of the traffic on the website. So basically, Hellhounds sadly did not have the time to get the love they deserved, because they minted on 24th of April of 2022, and the Terra collapse was on the 9th of May. So this is like 15 days or something like that. So basically, the Hellhounds never got the love they deserve. And for this matter, and this is a little bit of alpha that I have already hinted to the community, but not to a lot of people, we are looking to rebrand the Hellhounds to something that could be possibly a standalone project, but not a completely standalone, something that is a HellCats / Brix Labs IP, but at the same time it is something that it is not directly connected with HellCats. Of course, this would include an art upgrade, and we are also thinking of minting some some more to actually get some more people in the community.
Okay, and that's very interesting. And you have your Hellcat, you have your Hellhound, right? Does each one have the same perks, or are there different perks for each one?
So basically, HellCats are always the OG collection, right? So they always have they always have approximately twice the perks. So if a Hellhound is getting 10 TMT per day, a Hellcat is getting 20 TMT per day. If we also have some events or giveaways that are specific for each kind of holders, or some giveaways that, for example, the Hellcats holders have twice the entries. But this is also something that we believe, with the rebrand, it is something that we also want to change, because the Hellhounds are too much attached to the Hellcats right now. Sorry, the Hellhounds are too much attached to the Hellcats right now, which is something that I think, and the whole team thinks, that we have to change, let's say.
Yeah, no, and I like that, right? I like the kind of like the lore and everything like that, and we'll kind of get more into the comics and the animation and everything like that. But I've interviewed TSAS, right, the Space Safe Society. I've interviewed Maria. I've interviewed EJ from Space Skellies, and of course the Wreck Gang and everything like that. And what connects y'all is that Terra Luna crash, right? And I love hearing stories about that, because it was such a huge moment in crypto. A lot of people lost their lives. It was a very horrible time, right? So when you guys were going through that, what was kind of like the mindset, and how did you guys pull through and get here today?
This is a very interesting, conversation. And I say conversation and not question, because this is, a big conversation. So, I think that you put it, correctly. It was a very, like a milestone, but in a bad sense for the whole crypto community. Back on Terra, one of the main things that we all loved was that there was, let's say, a feel of belonging, right? We were all together, right? Hellcats and Red Wolf back then, because they were called Red Wolf and not Red Gang. Occasionally, had our poker tournaments, or we were chilling in the same discords. The same with Space Kellys. The people from TSAS, most of them are already Hellcats holders from back then. So I remember, this time fondly, because this was the time that I actually stepped up and became more involved. And this actually came out because as I told you earlier, my friend that taught me, about crypto and stuff like that, he always, told me to not marry my bags, always be diversified. So for me, I lost a big chunk of money, and I lost a big chunk of, unrealized gains. I think only my NFT bag was like $15,000. I mean, not bad for someone that was in crypto for 6 months, right? So for me, it was, I did not lose a very big amount of money, but I met and I saw people that they lost a lot. And when I say a lot, their life savings, unrealized gains of millions of dollars. And the first thing that came to my mind was, okay, of course it was their fault. They should not have, invested what they could not lose. But at the same time, I said, you know what? Okay, I am in a better position because I did not lose so much. So I will try, to help them, hold some spaces. And this was the time that I actually got involved with, with Twitter Spaces, Discord calls, and stuff like that. And I really think that, the Terra trauma is what binds us with, all the other projects. Project-wise, I was not part of the team that time, but the guys from the team are from Australia. So when all this took place, they were asleep. So basically, they went to sleep with Luna at $80, I think, and they woke up with Luna at 40 or 30, I can't remember, and USD depegged. It was something like a massacre, let's say.
Yep.
Not only because it was something, that happened in like 3 or 4 hours, but because most of the projects, and I know it for a fact, for HellCats, for Wrecked Gang, possibly Space Kellys, which then was a part of Skeleton Punks, another project that is still on Terra. A big chunk of all the project treasuries were on Luna, on UST, and in other Terra ecosystem altcoins.
The Terra crash, right, was very, you guys like went through it. You guys, came out on top, right? And now you're here, right? You're here on Polygon, right? And the fun thing is I like about your project, and I'm a big, huge comic book nerd, is that you guys have some like comic books as well. Can you kind of explain a little bit more about that?
Yeah. It happens, so I also am, a huge comic nerd. I remember fondly the time, that I rushed to the comic shop, very young, to get the new comics, or, even later when I was in college. Here in Greece, we don't have access to every comic series that gets out like in US or other European countries. So I had to hustle my way, download some torrents, pirate some shit in order to get the latest issues. So this was also one of the reasons that I really loved HellCats as a holder. As I mentioned earlier, we have already two issues out. Both of them are inspired by the community. We have actual characters that are people from our community. We have, for example, Moonraker, which is a fantastic member of our community. He was the leader, let's say, of the Iced Out sub-community. So he's one of the people that they are mentioned in the comics. We also have our biggest holder. His name is Marek. He's a fantastic human being. He's a really great internet troll, to be honest. But yeah, but he's a whale in every project. He holds some of the very rare HellCats and HellHounds, and the whole idea behind the comic, in the original roadmap, there was one team member that was a comic artist. He was also very well connected in the comic world in the US, participating in Comic-Con or other events. Sadly, this individual is not on the team anymore, but we are, trying to find a workaround and actually get these comics printed and distributed, at least in North America, where, the demand for this kind of comics is severely higher than, Europe or Asia, where people mostly are, into mangas and, animes. The art style is something different. So we are trying also to leverage some Polygon connections to actually be able to do this. And this was the first comic, and the second comic was basically let's say, a Hellcat / comic perspective on what happened with the Terra, and how the Hellcats managed to leave the planet Terra and go to the board the one planet spaceship to reach Polygon. This is how it ends. The guys have already also worked with a lady. Her name is Vivian, if I recall correctly. She was part of the League of Legends writing team. And she worked a little bit with our lore as well, trying to give a little bit of background to some other characters. It is definitely something that we also, we continue to work on. It has been a little bit on hold, with the current market conditions. Most people do not really have an idea how much this could cost, but it could cost, let's say, 5, maybe 6 or 7K to actually print some comics and get them to some shops. So we think that this kind of funds right now, it is better to get directed to something else and not the comics for the time being. But it's definitely something we want to expand more and build on.
Yeah, I love it. And I love the fact that you guys have comics and everything like that. But you mentioned animation, right? And is that something you see kind of more down the line, or is that something you really can't release much information about it, like animated films, or what's kind of the story with that?
Yeah. So right before the Terra crash, and I mention it because everything happened right before the crash. There were some animations, and there was work put into this, and essentially try to also leverage the comic series to create something similar in for the animation world. It is also definitely something we want to work on. I think we already have 2 other NFT projects that have animation studios, in the pipeline. We have already discussed with them to expand and explore some collaboration routes. Maybe if we can, do something and provide, some support for them. They can also do some work for us, and I think this is something really interesting about Polygon, right? Because right now, here on Polygon, there are a lot of talented teams that are from different ecosystems. They have different backgrounds, and we can all basically work together, to produce different stuff. For example, I was talking with Apollo from Leo DAO. He was, we were discussing about the rebrand of HellHounds, and he told me, you know what, we are a rebranding studio. We can do this for you, or do that. At the same time, we were also talking with Danketsu. They have really great connections in the manga world, but from the comics perspective. And this is something that I really, really, really find interesting and intriguing, on Polygon. There are a lot of people that are doing completely different work, and in the end of the day, we can all work together, to try and create something unique.
That's that's been kind of the sentiment, right? That in Polygon, that everybody's kind of helping each other out, and that's what kind of drew me to this whole ecosystem, right? And I love the fact that you can jump on everybody's spaces. Like, it was very weird to see, different projects helping each other out during their mint parties. Like mint parties wasn't a thing where I kind of came from. It was kind of basically you were on your own, right? And in talking with that, you did mention something that did kind of piqued my interest. You said rebrand. Are the HellCats looking to kind of rebrand, or what do you guys are thinking about doing as much as you can? I know you can't show all your cards, right? But what are some of the things you're possibly teasing?
So we are looking to do a rebrand for the HellHounds. As I told earlier, HellHounds was a supporting collection for the HellCats, was the cheap entry to the ecosystem. Unfortunately, they did not have the time they deserved, to shine. So we are actually, actively trying to find a way to bring more traction to them that could also help with expanding our current community. So we are looking for a rebrand for the HellHounds.
That's good. No, that's good. I'll pick up a Hellhound, just so I can get it, gain entry, and then later on I'll get a Hellcat, and then I'll be all the way in. But also, want to talk to you about something that I always see everywhere, right, with you guys, right? And it's actually become a lot more popular, right? And it's Brix Labs. What exactly is Brix Labs?
Yeah. So when we first came on Polygon, as you already mentioned, we were one of the very, very, very first projects here. It was us, it was Wrecked Gang, I think it was Billionaire Zombie Club, and some other, there were Reddit NFTs. And what we actually saw was a very big opportunity because there was a lack of infrastructure. So we talked with our dev, Thomas. He was the one that built the staking, the soft staking mechanism for HellCats, and we were, trying to think of how can we leverage this to bring value to HellCats holders and to the whole Polygon ecosystem, NFT ecosystem. So what we actually brainstormed was that, we have been through a lot of stuff. We have seen the good side of NFTs. We have seen the bad side of NFTs. We have built bots, listing bots, sales bots, floor price trackers, and other stuff. We have already built them for us. We have built the soft staking mechanism for us. We have a community of approximately 1,300 unique wallets. And why don't we find a way, to leverage this in a good way? And this was pretty much how Brix Labs was born. The original idea was from Dim and Taylor, the two founders of HellCats. But very quickly, the rest of the team hopped in. And I got to say that, it's really great to see, meet people, let's say that they are saying, oh, you are from HellCats and Brix Labs. Yeah, you know what? We are using your bots, and thank you very much, for providing this for us. Basically, if I could, put it in very few words, I would say that Brix Labs is the outcome of the interaction that the HellCats team had in a period of nearly 2 years with the NFT and crypto space. So basically it is that, we had to build a lot of stuff, and there is no need for you to go build them again, right? There is no need for a project to give, like $10,000 or $8,000 to a developer to create a staking contract, because we can do this. We have already built it. For us, it's, just to set some parameters. I'm not a dev, so I just imagine it is not so hard. We can do it with very less, less money than something like that. We can create a custom user interface for your holders, for your project. We have exactly what the project needs when it starts, right? We have floor trackers, listing bots, sales bots, everything that you need the moment that, the project mints out. We have also built some really unique stuff like the rewards bot, one of my favorite bots. Basically, it is a bot that picks a random message in random intervals, for example, every 13 minutes or every 20 minutes or every 5 minutes. And this message that is picked will win some money. It is not much, it could be like 0.05 Matic, but if you win like 10 times, it's something like a more fun interaction for the community. or for a project, to advertise their token. For example, we could be approached by a project that wants to launch their own token, and they could say, you know what, we are giving the X amount of tokens to you to advertise it in your community. So basically, this is what Brix Labs is. Also, we have a project incubator. I really think that this is also something really, really, really unique and interesting. It is something that, to be honest, I think we need to improve a lot of things, and I will get a little bit deeper right now. But I really think that it is a very a great advantage to have a very dedicated community, to have a successful project, and to have the right connections, so that, for example, let's say that you are an artist, right? And you want to enter the NFT world. You don't know a lot of things, right? Someone told you that you can make one of one art and sell it on OpenSea or auction it to other platforms, but you can use your talents to create a PFP collection, or you may be a DeFi maniac and you want to build a community around a DeFi protocol that you want. So what we want to actually be able to achieve is to take these ideas from talented people and try to use our connections and our experience and our community, of course, to actually make them, from ideas to successful projects. This is something that it is very important also for HellCat holders, and I'm saying this all the time to community spaces and other Twitter spaces that we have all together, that it is something that brings eyes to HellCats, brings new people to HellCats, and to help the community grow. We also want the HellCats holders and HellHounds holder, of course, to have perks from these projects. For example, we could ask for all the HellCats and HellHounds holders to be whitelisted automatically, or to receive some NFTs, like 100 NFTs for our treasury, and we can raffle half of them and hold the other half in order to sell them in the future and have the funds for the community. So I really think that the incubator is a very big deal for us, but we still need to improve a lot of things, and of course to consider the overall market sentiment.
No, yeah, and I've noticed that, right? I've seen Brix Labs, quite a bit, right? And also too, as well, I noticed that is there a project that you guys have already incubated, and that's being the Grumpies? Was that part of that umbrella?
Yeah, and this is why I said that we need to improve some things. So basically, Grumpies is a project that we incubated. It is a lore / IP project. They have also comics, animations, real life toys, and other stuff in the roadmap. The art has been made by the HellCats artist. But the problem is that we overlooked a bit the market sentiment. And this is why I said, that we need to consider always the market sentiment. And this, I believe this came after a lot of enthusiasm from inside HellCats and Grumpies team. But of course, we know a lot more than the people that are going to mint. So a lot of people were hesitant because of the market conditions. So we had to slash the price and airdrop some also to other people, to the original minters. So this cut a little bit the available money for the guys to build. But here we are. I think we have done a good job with them. Also, what I told you before about HellCats holders was that every HellCat holder was airdropped, not claimed. There was a direct airdrop to their wallets of at least one Grumpy. And if someone wanted more whitelist spots, they could ask, and they could receive as part of the incubation program. And basically, what we want to also achieve with Grumpies is to be able to let's say help them now that the volumes are a bit low, and what we think is, and we believe, is that the project does not stop when it mints out, right? It is then that it actually starts. So we, as an incubator, we want to support them now that they have minted out, and a lot of people are asking when, but at the same time they're trying to do some work. So yeah, Grumpies was the first project incubated.
Yeah, and that's I've seen that around, right? I've seen Brix Labs kind of everywhere, right? And you guys have got a lot going on. You have the incubation, whole kind of project. You got comic books, you got merch, you got of course staking already, right? You have 2 different collections, right? Is there anything that we're missing? Is there anything that we should know about the HellCats?
Yeah, we also have a 300 pieces collection on Bitcoin Ordinals.
Mm-hmm.
This was a collection that was paying tribute to the original HellCats art with some Bitcoin flavor. Of course, Bitcoin trades, everything in the orange color palette. But at the same time, this collection is not just an art collection. They will have some special perks. One of them will be directly connected with Elements. Elements is the next collection of the Brix Labs IP. Basically, the Elements, we have already hinted them, they are on pause right now, let's say, because of the market conditions. The art is 100% ready and 100% paid, and it is not paid for, the money are not a few. The difference with that collection is that it will not be directly connected with HellCats in terms of art. The art is something like an Android, with some cool stuff like, unique cloth traits and unique expressions, elemental eyes and stuff like that. And this collection will actually be a dynamic collection. So basically, with Elements, you, first of all, a holder or a minter would choose if they want to reveal their element, and if they want to do, they will be able to stake for a season pass. So basically they will lock it for X amount of time, let's say 3 months. At the end of the 3 months, they will receive a bunch of different traits that will be directly on their elements. They can swap them, they can sell them, they can buy them, and the amount and the rarity of these traits will be affected by your HellCats ecosystem holdings. So let's say, for example, that I hold 10 cats and 10 hounds, and I soft stake my element. I will receive a different allocation, a different amount of traits for my element than someone that holds 1 or 2 cats. And of course, this will be for free. We think that this is a very interesting concept for 2 reasons. First of all is that it gives you the ability to create a unique PFP that fits your personality, that fits your taste. We all have been there, when we like very much an NFT, but there is one trait that seems a little bit off in comparison with the others. So we strongly believe that this will be a collection that you can actually create your own combination that is unique, and you can use it as a PFP. The second and super important reason also is that by soft staking and by receiving these trades, you can freely trade them, you can sell them, you can give them to friends. So basically, you can either profit from something that you already bought without losing it, because I think a lot of us, and including myself, right, when I was a HellCat holder, I used to have only one HellCat at some point, and it costed $5,000, but I did not want to sell it because this would mean that I would leave the community or lose my perks. So basically, when you receive some trades, you can either trade them, you can sell them, you can buy new ones, and at the same time you profit, but you don't lose your perks as a community member, right? So it is like a gift that keeps on giving, let's say. And the third reason, which I really believe is also super important, is that with this method, let's say, we can have trades designed by different artists, right? So let's say that we have Riza, which is the artist of the Elements, and we want to make the second season trades from Jarek or from Yanis, right? We can actually create different seasons inside these NFTs, and we can, have more people joining, new people, joining, or stuff like that.
No, that's great, and I love the fact that you guys are doing that, and you can get these ordinals on Magic Eden.
These ordinals, they are in Magic Eden, and they are on Gamma as well. Gamma is also is a marketplace for ordinals.
Okay, and that's amazing, right? And kind of with all the stuff you guys got going on, right? You say you guys are trying to improve, and do all these things. Where would you guys like to be, a year from now? Like, where would you guys, in a perfect world, where would you guys like to be?
This is one of my favorite questions, and at some point when me and Rect Gang were doing some spaces, and we did like something like a Discord call that we used to call it a Rect Den. It is something like a Shark Tank, but for NFTs. This was the question with the question that I actually closed the show with. So basically, what I would want in a year from now, I would want to see a lot of our old community members coming back. Having experienced all of these things that we have experienced the past 2 years, we have a lot of people that they are sick of the NFT world. We have a lot of community members that were like, you know what, I keep my NFTs for now. I will be gone for like 1 year. See you later. So the first thing that I would really want to see is I want to see our missed community members. I want to know that they are doing great. They had some great time outside of crypto, and them and their families are safe. After that, I would want to see a mass adoption of, let's say, Brix Labs tech, but not, in the way of, Brix Labs taking over the space. No, I would love to see more projects collaborating with Brix Labs. I have hinted it in spaces and community calls. We are here. We have some very talented devs. We can create everything you guys want. We are working, for example, with Manifest Labs for now. We have already made the soft staking mechanism for hyperconks, and we are also working for a custom-made raffle shop for their NFTs.
Nice.
Yeah, it is big work, and Thomas, our dev, I think he's the only member of the team that he's actually full-time working for us, because all the others, we have day jobs. So he has put a lot of work into it. And I really think that, this is something that can benefit the whole Polygon NFT scene, right? Because tomorrow, in a year from now, you may decide to make, your own NFT project, and we have already this tech built. It is easier for everyone to actually, use it and onboard new people. And of course, I would want to see new people joining the Polygon ecosystem. We have some really great projects here. Us, of course, Rect Gang, Space Kellys, the Space Ape Society. I don't want, to forget anyone. So please, guys, do not fad me.
No, that's like I said, that's amazing. I appreciate you coming on my show, Giannis. This has been great. I know we had a little technical difficulty. I don't know exactly what that was. Maybe it was Terra Luna. Maybe it was Daquan. Maybe he was coming back. He wanted to kind of shut you down. But
Yeah.
before you go, do you have anything else you want to say, or do you have any community members you want to shout out, or anybody you want to shout out before you leave?
Okay, this is a tough one. Being and I say this because being the community manager or community lead, because I prefer to say that, I lead them and I do not manage them. We are not, a workspace here. I want to lead them, and I want to lead them by example. The problem with the community leads is that they are both team and community. So, I'm usually the one from the team that says, you know what, we need to ask the community for this, and I get shit for it. And when I talk with the community, I am the one that says, you know what, okay, I need to consult the team, and I also get shit for it. So I don't really want to, give a shout out to any specific one. We have a lot of people that have given a lot of time, a lot of money to the project. They have been fantastic. They have been supporting us from day one. And, the very difficult times after the Terra crash, and, till the enthusiasm of the migration, and all that. They have been all amazing. I really love them. I have actually, I was lucky to meet some of them in person, and grab a beer and have some drinks. They are all fantastic people, and I want them to be, to pump their bags and be happy in NFT land.
Yeah, same. And Giannis, I appreciate you. Thank you so much. I'm definitely getting into the HellCats ecosystem. I'll make a huge post when I do. I want to thank you. And guys, that wraps our show. If you like content like this, please like, comment, share, subscribe, download, follow me on X, follow the HellCats on X. And guys, I will see you guys around on the blockchain. Take care.